The Outer Worlds is Fallout's weird cousin. You know the one. Same family tree, but instead of radiation and mutants, our dear cousin busts up in some sick ass Hawaiian shirt, passes out these branded toothbrushes with a subscription, and says to you, don't worry, with the promotion, these late fees are actually waived if your death is accidental. And Buddy rambles on and on about corporations secretly owning everything. I mean, come on, man, that's crazy. Who'd ever believe that? So what's going on here is this president from forever and a half ago never got caught slipping like in our timeline. So the OG Theo Roosevelt never got elected to break down all the monopolies. Without him, things just kind of accelerated, and that's how you get present day Halcyon.
With you in the stars. Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10
Following this, for whatever reason, they decide to go ahead and ship off all of our most bigly smart people into space. So we could, maybe be productive and maybe make some cash off some aliens. Who knows, Fast forward about 3 generations, and all these companies had this great idea to fuse into one giga government company thing. Shit is really bad. Despite our awake crew, whatever you want to call it, doing their best during the voyage, something went wrong with the ship. So, short story shorter, our sweet, glorious ship, with all of our smarties, by the way, breaks down on us. And we ain't got no AAA in these galactic streets. So, good news though, we do end up drifting in the right direction. So we reach Halcyon, just a few generations late. Something, at least we're fashionably late, right? Yeah. But yeah, we're cooked, like literally. Our cells have been essentially nuking themselves the whole time that we were in cryo. It can be fixed, don't get me wrong. But at what cost? Well, too much for the board, apparently.
Thousands of colonists left to drift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom
There is
line.
so much shenaniganery here. This intro alone proves that the Outer Worlds is weird cousin Fallout. Oh, shit. Wait. We're woken up by our boy, Phineas Wells. That's cool, right?
What's going on?
Hope that was cool.
Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Can you hear me?
Think discount dollar store Rick cracked out on pills and galaxy gas rather than alcohol and space weed. He works because he's the game's thesis in a lab coat. Chaotic good in a system designed for lawful evil. After less than OSHA approved landing, we acquire the unreliable truth in advertising finally. Like any sci-fi spaceship, it's piloted by a discount Cortana, ADA, which stands for Autonomous Digital Astrogator. She's still a homie, but no overpriced holo stuff to, be disappointed at us in 3D. So,
My deception protocol.
win some, you lose some.
I have been programmed to express disappointment.
So, without further ado, welcome to Halcyon. If you love work in retail, you will love it here. Spacer's Choice is the perfect mascot for this game. Their brand promise is literally
You've tried the best now.
that.
I'll try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Oh, wow, that stings.
Now, I worked retail phone sales for the big blue and big red companies for years. If you've ever wondered why reps tend to look dead inside whenever you decline 3 add-ons, a streaming bundle, free tablets, they are never free. Trust me on that one. And a warranty for your warranty, it's because they don't want to pitch it either. The Spacer's Choice nails this awkward feeling so hard.
Trouble sleeping? Try our lunar eclipse mix. That's 2 handfuls of pep pills washed down with a hearty swig of 2-hour energy brew.
Now, you roll up on this colony called Edgewater, right? Not to be confused with Edgeville, totally different place. This place looks cozy until you realize the warmth is just the cannery steam. In Fallout 3, one of the first places that you typically reach is a settlement called Megaton. When you first get there, you initially see all of these sad people in raggedy clothes walking around, living in shacks, held together with a whole lot of hope. A whole lot of hope. Despite it all, you can tell that they are trying their best to survive, especially that guy. I mean, look at him. Yeah, sure, some of them happen to praise a nuclear bomb that could detonate and kill them all at any time in literally like an instant. But nukes actually have a lot of fail-safes. And if you look back historically, there is little chance of something like this going off after such a long time. Even if you were to... God damn. Oh, sorry. Anyways, my point is they are all still trying to survive. But Edgewater, dude, you get there and I'll be honest, it looks fucking cool. You walk in, see all of these neat buildings, and you'd assume that people here must be doing pretty well. Like they look like they're chilling. I mean, look, they even have a bar. See? It genuinely looks nice, if maybe a little less swirly, but it's all hollow. No one is thriving here. None of these people are happy. Most of us clock in and out, but here, I mean, some people, most even, they tend to only clock out once. So the little bitch boy we have here, Reed, is the one running the cannery. He's the corpo boy who follows all of the rules exactly. Here in Edgewater, they produce South tuna. You get it? It's like salmon, and then we got tuna, and then she's going, and then God. Never mind. It's fish. They process fish here. This place probably smells worse than any kind of cat or dog food plant, which can already retain a very pungent smell. Ask me how I know. Out past the walls here, Adelaide grows life, where it was said nothing could grow, which is really just Spacer's choice for corporate said no, not efficient enough to have people living out here. But thank you for your attention to this matter. This will affect your performance review. That's okay. Right? Really, she just did what everyone else was too afraid to do and dipped out of Edgewater, making her own way. Let's be clear here, Adelaide is not some kind of saint. She's not.
If you're bearing illness, find a place to
She
lay
is just
down,
honest
I'll
about
fix you up
what it
quick.
really takes to survive out here. Think of the boss who doesn't sugarcoat the schedule. Brutal back-to-backs, but at least you can expect it instead of crying before and after your shifts. The crux of this situation is the power regulators, which also happens to be our only way out. Basically, what she wants us to do is move this power switch her way. And Reed just wants us to keep things as they are, keep the lights on in his office. Because you know how difficult it can be to, get a little nappy nap in without his nightlight. Either path cuts someone off, though. We can yank the power over to Botanical and watch Edgewater limp. Or we can keep Edgewater running and leave the garden in the dark. And if we're careful and a little cruel, we can make Reed step down and convince the deserters to come home under new leadership. That's the best case scenario, and it still stings a little. This choice feels like a customer telling you for the fourth time, just the phone, please, bro. Please, while your manager's staring you down, adding into his little coaching notes about how many insurance plans you didn't sell this month. Well, that's how it goes. Never mind anything you've done in the past. It's all about what you've done recently. I'm sorry, maybe that was a little too real. Leave me a comment below if you can feel that, because I have met this guy in real life. This dude is built different. Specifically out of Red Bull, Celsius, and metrics in a Stanley Cup. And his name is John Cena. I am so sorry for that. That one was for you, Justin. Eventually, we make our way off planet and to the sister ship of the Hope, the Groundbreaker. They slap a hold on the unreliable because fuck us, that's why, I guess. I don't know. But we find out, oops, we ain't going nowhere until we clear this up.
I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But it's not a big deal. We smooth it over. No biggie or anything. Apparently our late Captain Hawthorne just had some spicy shit going on with Mr. Bedford. I didn't know he was a freak like that.
A game we play, he and I. I ask him to turn in Phineas Wells. He tells me he will soon. I impound his ship. He explains why he can't give me the info right now. I ask him to turn in Wells. Around and around we go. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Did he? Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentimental man.
Spacer's Choice calls rumor of a saltooner shortage patently baseless. The Edgewater canning facility is operating at full capacity and will be delivering the gourmet saltooner fillets and other fish-based fine products that valued employees crave. Spacer's Choice representatives would like to assure everyone that they are committed to people, factual advertising, and automation. You've been listening to Halcyon News, your mandated duty as a good citizen of Halcyon.
Anywho, at this point, we pick up some more sick coworkers. Also, this is probably a good time to mention the sick coworkers. We got Parvati, the human soul kit with more empathy than the rest of Halcyon combined. We got Felix, the only dude in this entire star system who hasn't been psychologically dismantled by capitalism. We got Sam. Praise the board, this thing likes us. Kills 99% of germs and people. We got... okay, I didn't even pick up anyone else. Well, anyways, after all the meet and greets, we finally get to Gladys, who produces our next choke point. Bitch got our nav key to Monarch, 10k bits, no coupon. What even is the conversion rate here? What the fuck? Like $100 for that? What the fuck? That's bullshit. She's not even partnered. I guess. Wait. Neither am I. Subscribe. Please. Did you do it yet? Can I stop now? Okay. Now, if you're broke, hi. She just so happens to have a distress signal from Roseway.
Might be this could help out the groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms, do you know Edna over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago.
Being the broke bitches that we are, we go ahead and skedaddle over to Roseway, which is this definitely shut down lab pretending it's not on fire. The memos all say evacuated, but these little cute puppies here, they disagree. Fuck little bitch.
Okay. Tom, Greg's doing it again.
Oh, is he talking to it?
He thinks it's Karen.
Karen from accounting?
No, it's Karen, his fiance. Rapdones took the last week. Lord rest him.
And now he thinks
she comes back as a Raptidon. Says the eyes are the same.
They do not have eyes anymore, Bill.
I know.
Kevin, it's me. I brought you the soup. The one you love. Care on you. I still love your teeth. Look great.
Did HR
send him a pamphlet about racing new departmental structures. So,
Bill, that is a grief pamphlet.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway,
while Greg's out there processing things in his own special way, we kept walking. We found a few more rooms, files, documents, just the standard corporate stuff. And then I sat down to read what they'd been working on, because I was a little curious.
We find this research that is just so fucking stupid. The biggest decision that we have to make is who will pay more for... Okay, listen. This right here, this is where the game goes from goofy satire to, oh, these people deserve jail. They were making toothpaste. A nice, normal, friendly little product. Except their special formula had one teensy tiny side effect. Blindness. Just full on congrats, your teeth are spotless. But you'll never see them biddies again. And management, I swear to God, management is writing this like it's a mild inconvenience. Like, oh yeah, the blindness? Yeah, whatever, it's fine. But the real value is in that appetite suppression, because apparently if you can't see your food, you fucking eat less. Amazing. Halo effect. Win-win. Who needs customers who can see when we can increase the quarterly earnings by 2%? This is exactly that corporate retail energy that the shady managers in the back are just like, go ahead, add 5 extra lines to the customer's account. Because if they catch it, no worries. Customer service, they can fix it. And if not, I got a guy. Right. Like, marketing is just going to fix blindness. It's not a bug. It's a feature. A 3-in-1 toothpaste. You get fewer cavities, a healthy weight, and total protection from the horrors of Halcyon by refusing to let you see any of it. But the worst part is we have to decide who we want to sell this nightmare of a product to. I found that the retail metaphors really stopped being a joke here. I find it fascinating that Fallout's world at least has the decency to show you what it did to people. You look at a ghoul and you know. The world broke them, and it's written all over their body. But in Halcyon, man, the damage looks exactly like a person. Still clocking in, still nodding at the morning huddle, still smiling at the poster. You'd never know anything was wrong. And that's exactly the point. And nowhere does this rot show more clearly than on Monarch. The first place that the board couldn't keep the mask on straight. Edgewater hides its misery behind corporate cheer. Roseway hides its crimes behind paperwork. And Monarch doesn't hide anything. It can't. How would it? What happens when the board abandons an entire planet and pretends it was a strategic decision? The place is basically split up into 2 groups. MSI, the ex-corporate guys trying to run a functioning society with the confidence of an employee who quit their job, but they keep using the company handbook because they don't know how to live life anywhere else or anyway else. And then you have the iconoclasts. Idealists who want a better world, but they're held together by optimism, duct tape, and a charismatic leader who's about 3 bad days away from starting a cult or something. And the thing about the iconoclasts is they're not wrong. Graham isn't some sort of cartoon revolutionary. He understands propaganda. He understands how the board controls people. He sees the system clearly, and yet genuinely believes that he and a handful of exhausted people on an abandoned death planet can somehow out-conviction a galaxy-spanning corporate regime. Like, my God, you're 17 years old in spirit trying to fist fight capitalism. It's noble, it's sincere, and it's heartbreaking. Because he's doing more than almost anyone else in Halcyon. More than most people ever do. He's actually trying, but he's also completely unwilling to adapt. You can feel it in every single conversation. Zora knows it's futile. You know it's futile. I know it's futile, but Graham doesn't know it's futile. He doesn't. And that's just one of the many tragedies on Monarch. You should see what happened to his mom. This is what resistance looks like when you replace one absolute belief system with another. When moral clarity turns into rigidity, when trying becomes the point instead of actually trying to change anything. The board's evil. Graham's right about that. But belief alone doesn't beat raw power. And watching him cling to the idea anyways is just, it's devastating in its own way. And shit, everything outside of the walls, they're monsters, they're big ones. And they have more enthusiasm and better teamwork than either faction. Probably either faction combined. But here on Monarch, it's the first place I actually saw people in the game trying to survive without the board's propaganda, propping them up. Graham and the Iconoclasts are just a messy, painful example. And this is the part that really messed with me, because Graham doesn't feel fictional. I've sat across from people like this. Customers, family, people I know just burning money and time on plans that sound hopeful, but they collapse the moment that you look at the math or the market or their actual skill set. And the worst part isn't that they're dreaming. It's not that at all. It's that once that they commit, they just stop listening altogether. That's the line. Trying isn't the problem, but refusing to adapt is. Fallout shows you all of the rot after civilization collapses. Monarch here shows you the moment the rot finally becomes impossible to ignore.
Saw the printing facility with the same importance as High.
Yes, you're damn right he could have. But he's so obsessed with preaching that he's become blind to our actual problems.
Now, just like any good story our dear cousin here tells, he's got a few tangents to go on first before he finishes. And Halcyon's tangents, well, they're packaged as optional content, and it really just hits almost as hard as the main plot itself.
Gorgon, a rock at the edge of nowhere. The kind of place a man sends a problem when he wants it to stay a secret. Spacer's Choice had a problem, all right. Workers, slow, tired, inconveniently human. So they cooked something up, called it a Adrena time. One little pill and you could work harder, faster, longer. No sleep, no supper, no more of that nasty habit where the body begs you to quit. For a while, business was booming. Numbers climbed, quotas melted. Somewhere, a manager wept tears of pure joy. And it worked. Till it didn't, you see. You tell a man to stop being human for long enough, sooner or later, he listens. What they pulled out of that facility wasn't workers no more. Wasn't much of anything. So they did what any respectable outfit would do. Killed the lights, bolted the doors, filed the whole thing under. Never happened. Then, one day, somebody sends me an invitation. No cards, no flowers, just an arm. Lucky for them, I work cheap.
You got all of these Spacer's Choice motivational posters slapped all over the place, like it somehow fixes the body count. You ever see HR roll out a complimentary company-issued therapist right after laying off half of the floor? Yeah, it's that. And to make matters worse, it's just a free ChatGPT bot. The mystery it's not what went wrong here. That much is obvious right from the get-go. The real mystery is, what do we do with this giant space turd now? So here we can either let someone try to restart this nightmare, which will most likely end in more marauders, destroy it, or try for the good old third everybody wins option. I personally destroyed the bitch and tried to get this dude to OD on galaxy gas, hoping for a reward, but you won't be so lucky next time, bucko. I remember that.
Are you tired? Tired of feeling things? Come to Eridanos, Halcyon's premier floating paradise, where the sky is always gold, the drinks are always cold, and the questions are always someone else's problem. Sip the smooth, clarifying taste of new Spectrum Brown, the vodka that loves you back. Endorsed by your favorite face, the radiant Halcyon Helen. She can't endorse it right now. She's face down in the restaurant, but her smile lives on. At Eridanos, we believe happiness shouldn't be a choice. It should be automatic, effortless, permanent. Why feel better when you can simply stop feeling worse? Just breathe in, let go, let us handle the rest. You won't even notice the difference. You won't notice anything.
Congratulations, investigator, and welcome to the Rizzo's family. You've been hand-selected for a tremendously important, completely voluntary assignment. You see, a little teensy misunderstanding has occurred at one of our partner premier resort destinations. Nothing serious, just a small, refreshing, family-friendly homicide. Now, your mission is simple. Investigate the scene, follow the clues. Use that big, beautiful, completely average brain of yours to reach a conclusion, any conclusion. We trust you implicitly. Although, purely as a fun fact, did you know that our resort operations manager, Cedric, was seen near the incident? Wow! And that Cedric recently filed several complaints about working conditions, which frankly hurt my feelings. I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying Cedric. Oh, and should your brilliant detective work happen to point you towards Rizzo's leadership, resort management, or our exciting new wellness initiative? No, that would be incorrect. Try again, have a Spectrum Brown, because the public deserves an answer. A fast one, a tidy one that fits splendidly on a press release. Thank you for your service, investigator. Your loyalty has been noted, and your alternatives have not. Thank you.
The bitch-ass administrator right here, he just wants someone, anyone, preferably Cedric, to blame. Cedric is basically his ops who...
I made him an offer he should have refused. What? No. No. Why in the architect's name would you think that? Our combative relationship stems from paperwork, mundanely enough. Rizzo's contracted sublet to construct the Eridanos atmospheric complex. Had Lou wanted Rizzo's to retain full control of Eridanos, he shouldn't have skimmed the revised contract I sent him. Lou's an administrator, for law's sake. I thought he would adore all the fine print I added. Still technically visible to the human eye, but only just. You're quite good at this. It was all perfectly legal, too, which irked Lou to no end. My power grab, as Lou called it, planted the seed of hatred. And Lou, obsessed with what should have been, has made sure to water it daily with his bitterness and anger.
Essentially scammed him, actually, and I would understand where the admin was coming from if he wasn't trying to forcibly infect everyone with these happy parasites. Gee.
Here in the dim corridors of Halcyon, we find one of the solar system's most fascinating creatures. The faint zombie.
After you investigate everyone, eventually you confront Ludovico. You give him all the deets, and finally, you must decide who did it. And after much research, investigating, lots of that, you finally come to the conclusion that yes!
Well, actually,
it was you.
It was,
all along.
None other
the whole time.
than me. I killed Halcyon
I should have
Helen.
stayed back on the ship with Ada.
You know, boss, There are days I wonder how you made it this far without accidentally shooting yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Bold strategy, Captain.
I
Let's see if
appreciate
it
it.
works out.
Sam says, let your automechanical do the dirty work while you keep your
That was
hands
a good idea.
clean.
I should have maybe
I
did
don't
that.
understand. What do you mean it was you?
But what do you mean? What do I mean? If somebody did, then it was a good chance that I did it. It's just basic statistics, so.
I don't have the words to describe how astronomically moronic that is. All right, I'm going to humor you because you're, law help us all, the inspector. What possible motive could you have to kill Halcyon Helen?
Oh, well, of course, as a professional rivalry, you know, I'm Maverick Johnson's way to star, right?
I didn't know that. Wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm not about to drag myself into your bizarre logic. You couldn't have killed Helen. You barely knew Halcyon Helen. She wasn't threatening your career or snooping around in your secrets. You see, those are serious, real motives.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't have any secrets, so.
Exactly. Helen wasn't a threat to you. You weren't even here on the night of the murder. How could you possibly have killed her in the ballroom?
Sure, would that be freaking easy? I mean, come on, I could just do a triple backflip off the balcony, bam, straight in the face with a plasma rifle.
Don't you have any sense of subtlety? You'd have to deflect attention away from you. You rewrite a mechanical's programming. Every mechanical in this damned colony is armed. Even Burbage has a built-in plasma weapon. Wait, don't move a muscle. Someone's just tripped my alarm. And my security defenses. And killed my patrols. The distillery is under attack. Someone's after me, Inspector. I need you over here right now.
In the end, you find out that Helen is actually Helen. It's with an S. Yeah, you heard it right. There's two Halcyon Helens. Well, shit. There was two Halcyon Helens. Now there's only one Halcyon Helen because the other
Later, Inspector. I was just hoping you'd find me standing over the administrator's corpse.
What in law's name? Halcyon Helen, how are you still alive?
Oh, is that Ludovico I hear? Perfect. I'm so glad he's still in the building. Would you mind letting him know I'm about to blow his whole operation to flinders? Really, Quentin? This is the inspector you hired? No, actually, it makes sense. If I was trying to frame someone for murder, I'd hire a gormless dolt and make them inspector too. Brace yourself, Inspector. You're about to learn the biggest secret in the Aetherwave industry. Halcyon Helen was never one person. I shared this role with my twin sister, Belinda.
Are you serious? Halcyon Helen's got a twin sister? I mean, yeah, it's obvious. You know, if you think about it.
Malfunction. Comprehension module is imminent for overload.
Belinda and I were the best kept secret in the business. Nobody could tell us apart. And certainly not a peevish, petty, miserable little worm like Quentin Ludovico. So when I discovered the truth, when I realized what Ludovico was about to unleash on this colony, Belinda paid the price.
Your Highness. Dinner is served. Wait, no, not me. Them! Merciful law, stop!
After the DLC, we wind up in Byzantium. That's such a, I love saying Byzantium. I love that. I assume it's like Byzantine Empire kind of reference or something like that. It's pretty cool though. So similarly to Monarch, it's just the newest place with smiles painted over its endless rot. Here we sneak into the home of a minister. All ready to threaten him with violence and stuff, just to find out that he's not in a much better place than us. Dude is literally grounded by the board and like one step away from a monitor implant. The whole plan was to walk out of the bitch with dimethyl sulfide, the secret sauce to, well, safely waking up everyone. But as it turns out, it is also the board's life support for its mistakes. If they don't get this, they are fucked. How much we take and who pays for it sits in your head afterward, like a performance review after a bad sales month. Then the hope. Our colony ship paused outside of time. Stored with all of the other people just like us, but not quite as lucky. We board it, tell the broken drive to do something it was never meant to do, and where we send it decides who bleeds next.
ADA, does your captain seriously intend to do a micro jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years on a derelict ship?
That is what my captain intends, yes.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred during transport, and this will cause extreme damage.
Yes, I am aware of that.
You should not be doing this. The humans will die.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Captain, I would advise you to hold on to something. Now.
Either way, all roads lead to Tartarus. While there are many options, I'm gonna ride for my boy. I mean, I never expected to actually save him truly, because every option is fucking someone over. However, the more that I learned about him, the more I realized working with him was the only option to make Halcyon a better place. Because side with the board? Well, let's just take a look at that.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins.
That's not living. That is not a solution to fix shit. It's a way to buy more time that will be wasted by the rich here doing whatever
I don't
the
suppose
fuck that
we'll start
is.
seeing monarchs rabble round here, huh? How gauche.
You have a rather exotic presence. A new Auntie Cleo's facial mask, perhaps? Or experimental pheromones?
Hell, I'd rather this ending than siding with the fucking board. The end here feels like a weird store meeting, and they're calling it a celebration and then telling you to do more with less. Except here, less isn't actually less resources, it's less air. Here's the thing. The game came out in 2019. I bought it. I played it. I got to the groundbreaker and just closed the book. Never went back. And for years, I had this game spoiled for me. Wells, the hope, the ending, all of it. So when people told me that Wells was just another manipulative villain using people as pawns, I believed him. I was wrong, because there's a massive difference between hearing about something and actually experiencing it. Between having it spoiled and actually walking through the abandoned colonies yourself. Seeing what Halcyon became and actually watching those inslides. So let me ask you something. What exactly was Wells supposed to do? Let everyone on the Hope just stay frozen forever? Let Halcyon slowly collapse under the board's boot while everyone just stayed comfortable enough just not to riot? No. He did what had to be done. People died because of him. Real people. Well, not real people, but real people in the game. Real people. Real cost. And he carried every single one of them for the rest of his life. You know the trolley problem? Do nothing and the trolley kills 5 people. Pull the lever and you actively kill one person to save the rest of them. Most people freeze because doing nothing feels cleaner. Your hands stay empty. Your conscience stays quiet. And the board pulled no levers ever. Not because they were paralyzed by the moral weight of it, but because the trolley wasn't running on their tracks. The cost was always someone else's to pay. Always another colony, another worker, another number on a spreadsheet that will be forgotten as soon as they hit delete. Wells pulled the lever, knowing exactly the cost and filling every single name. That's not evil, dude. That's the last person in Halcyon who actually gives a shit.
For our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. And I see you've brought the kid along. Babysitters may be expensive, but they're worth it, you know.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I cried at these slides. I know, it's ridiculous. Not because everything went wrong, but because some things actually went right. People I helped actually got better. Places I fought for actually survived. Choices I agonized over actually mattered. That's not nothing. And Halcyon, that's everything. Because here's what I realized watching those slides. The Outer Worlds isn't trying to tell you the same thing Fallout tells you. Fallout says war never changes. And I thought the Outer Worlds was saying the same thing about capitalism. It's not. It's saying something quieter, something more unsettling. It's saying that there is a certain level of comfort that makes people stop caring. That we, as a society, will remain complacent with just enough to stay quiet, just enough to keep working, just enough to never actually ask why. Not enough to thrive, never enough to thrive, just enough. Look at every place you visited. Edgewater, workers dying from the plague still clocking in, because what else are they going to do? Gorgon, abandoned. Experiments on workers, written off like a bad quarterly report. Monarch, stripped of everything. People trying to maintain some sort of normalcy on a planet the board decided wasn't worth the fucking investment anymore. Edgewater. Edgewater barely fucking holding on. Next up, Byzantium. And then, what are they going to do next? They're just going to find a whole other solar system? Do it all the fuck over again? The board didn't need to oppress anyone. They just needed to keep everyone comfortable enough to not notice. And it almost worked. So, Fallout's weird cousin. Same family tree, same DNA, but they're asking completely different questions. Fallout ends the world in fire and asks, how do we survive? The Outer Worlds doesn't end anything. What it shows you is scarier than any nuclear wasteland. It shows you that you don't need chains to keep people quiet. You just need enough, like I said earlier. Enough Netflix, enough salary, enough weekend, enough that the anger stays just below the surface, not quite boiling, never quite cooling, just enough to stay. That's it. That's the whole trick. And the scariest part is we don't even realize it's happening. But here's what those end slides told me. Things don't have to stay shitty forever. Not because the system fixes itself, it doesn't, but because good people doing their best with what little they have, they change things anyway. We don't have to play along forever. War never changes. Capitalism never stops smiling while it tries to sell you something you don't need. But people surprise you.
Felt the aftershocks of your actions. The destroyed adrenatime synthesizer became a symbol of the board's cruelty and a rallying point for Wells and his scientists as they sought to build a more humane.
And before I go, if you're still watching, you probably relate. Recently, the world lost a bright light. Oliver Tree has been an inspiration to me ever since I found his music over a decade ago. For me, he was the reason I was able to take myself less seriously and add color to the world rather than taking it away. This video, this channel, and the me as I am today wouldn't be here without him. My dream was to one day meet and maybe even collab with him. With him, that dream died. However, his dream to inspire others is the one I intend to carry for the rest of my life. So if I've inspired even a single one of you to shoot for your dreams, then, well, that's all I can ask for. Thank you so much to everyone that watches. I have so much more for you in store, but I'm just going to end the video with what I believe is one of the most important things that he ever said before his passing, at very least to me. Thank you.
Last thing I'll say is, if you have a dream, if you want to do something with your life, go do that shit. Don't wait for anyone's permission. Don't wait around on the sidelines while someone else does it. You can make it. You don't need a budget. You don't need a studio. You don't need any of this shit. Just go make your dreams come to life with just raw emotion and time and energy and love, and put a little bit of some insanity into it, and enjoy your freaking time here on this planet, because it's short and limited. Tomorrow is not promised, so make it today.
When you need me, I'll be here.